Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fix the World podcast with me, Sam Avery, and my learned friend,
Katie Tracy. Hi.
I've just
Fix the world.
Make it a better place. I've just robbed your intro. You always call me your learned friend. And well, we're learned friends, aren't we?
Yeah, or I call you my beautiful colleague.
I like that one as well.
Yeah.
I like the slightly sort of mid-Atlantic, beautiful.
Yeah, I try and use that quite a lot now. It's just a bit different, isn't it?
It's good. I like it. I feel very showbiz when people like round off the T sound into a D.
Do you copy accents?
I try to. I sort of I get like warped by them when I spend a bit of time around them. Like I was in Wigan.
I started thinking in the accent.
Yeah. Wigan, the Wigan one. I remember like
that's a shame. No
I know.
offense.
It's not a great accent, is it? I remember
how exotic.
Spent a weekend in Wigan once.
Wow.
Terrible holiday. And
tell us about your glamorous lifestyle, Sam.
Well, don't want to show off. But went there on the Friday, came back on the Sunday night. It was only 2 nights. Hung around with loads of people from Wigan, and then I was just all me. I think I can't remember which word it was.
Pie orgy in Wigan.
I was covering myself in pea wet.
That is a Channel 5 doc right there.
Pie orgy tonight.
Pea wet perverts. Channel 5, 10 o'clock. Right after Michael Portillo's Railways.
Then the clips would just be like, I just rub it all over my face.
Love a bit of pea wet.
I dunk my head in the lard. It's a strange place, Wigan, isn't it? It's a nice place. I'll be going there on my tour if anyone's listening.
There's some nice little parts of Wigan, actually.
There's some lovely bits. It's one of them places, though, the accent gives it a bad rap, doesn't it? Because the accent sounds, let's face it, and people might say this about the Scouse accent, but you don't sound particularly intelligent with a Wigan accent.
No, but I also cringe when I hear a Scouse accent on anything, including my own, on this podcast.
Maybe we should put on accents. Maybe we should put on American accents and just make ourselves sound a bit more like we're from Hollywood.
After Christmas, I watched all of Derry Girls, and then I watched that program, The Tourist, with Jamie Dornan. He have 50 Shades fame.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Which was a low point in his career. I didn't think he'd act again after that, but he's really great. But he's got a really strong Northern Irish accent. So for like approximately 6 weeks, I'm thinking in a Northern Irish accent.
Oh, great. It's so strange, isn't it? It must be weird if you move somewhere and feel your accent changing.
My auntie lives in Brighton, and she said when she's been to Liverpool, which she hasn't been for ages now because of COVID, whatever, she'll go home to Brighton and they'll be like, oh, you can tell you've been home. But she comes home to Liverpool and we're like, God.
You southern wanker.
Yeah.
You blurt. What are the sexiest accents for you? Because I do like a little bit of Northern Irish, but I spend far too much time hanging around with people.
Sorry to slip my tea right down the mic then. Very, very sorry about that little sound effect.
Sexy accent, innit?
I really love a South Wales accent.
Oh, do you?
I also love a really manly Yorkshire accent.
Oh, God, I wouldn't have picked them.
And like cowboy accent.
Oh,
I'm saying cowboy like Texas. I'm not a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like a Texas accent or like Georgia or like the way they talk in Ozark.
Oh, that would be... Oh, yeah.
I don't know fuck about shit.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I'd love someone to say that to me.
Yeah, I say it all the time now.
Don't know fuck about shit.
Or shit about fuck. You can mix it up if you want.
I
don't know shit about fuck.
Hey, Kate, what do you think of the latest transfer rumours around Liverpool FC?
I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah, works in every scenario. The
Fuck is actually a South Korean player, actually. So I don't know whether he's signing or not.
I don't know shit about it. I've always been jealous of American accents because everything just sounds cooler in an American accent.
Indeed.
It always does. The one you've just done, the Texas one, like the redneck one.
Yeah, I love it.
Love that one. Love the New York.
It's like power. It's just like poetry. It's like sing-song. That's why I like South Wales. I really love it.
That's quite sing-song. It's quite melodic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the way they repeat things.
But now I do love a Northern Irish accent.
I spend too much time hanging around with lads from Northern Ireland. So whenever I hear a Northern Irish accent, I think of the lads. So glad
you left it. Okay.
I know. I just had to move away.
We don't talk about it.
I had to go straight. But I still write to them and visit them when I can. Hi, boys. But their accents were so... I mean, my Scouse accent isn't particularly thick, but it's like it can sound strong to someone from outside the area, but they just sound like they're being just like eating concrete. Just the way they put the vowels together, and it's just...
I have a problem because if I work in a customer facing job, and I know that sometimes when I just ask somebody a question, it sounds like I'm being a bastard to them. So I'll just be like, well, can you tell me what's going on with this? Which to me sounds all right. But it's to somebody else, it sounds like I'm going, well, can you tell me what? That's what it sounds like. Because it can be quite a grating accent and I can sound quite abrupt. And I don't mean to. And I've had to say to people, and someone's gone to me, you don't need to speak to me like that. And I've had to say, oh, honest to God, like, this is how I sound. And I can't help it.
Listen, I speak to my fella like this when I'm being nice to him. Mm-hmm. This is just my voice.
But I was taking a call the other day, and my son's girlfriend was there, and I spoke to this girl in his firm of solicitors, and I went, I've got this email. I was like, yeah, it's Kate from blah, 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 blah. I went, right, I've got this email from you, and can you just explain yourself, please? And Robin, when my son's girlfriend was just like, and I put the phone down, and she went, I'd hate to work for you.
Can you explain yourself?
I don't mean to sound like that.
Can I speak to your mother, please?
I've got no time for like chit chat as well.
But I hate as a customer or as a potential customer when someone phones me up and you get that over friendly bollocks from someone where they're trying to be your mate. Hi, Mr. Avery. Yeah. Hi, how's your day been so far? Yeah, it's fine, mate, but you're ruining it with your bollocks questions. Oh well, ha ha ha. Anyway, this is not a sales call, which means this is a sales call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. What I'm asking you to do is give me some money and I can give you a product in return. It's not a sales call. Hello, Mr. Avery. That's dead annoying. Because I like being friendly to people, especially people you've never met before in the real world, but it feels weird on the phone with like a cold call. When it's
a task, when it's like admin kind of thing, I'm not interested in chit chat. But in general life, because I'm quite a nosy person, I will, in any environment, just start a conversation with people, whether they want me to or not. And I shouldn't. One time I was in Sainsbury's just buying some veg, and this woman's we were both looking at cauliflowers, and I saw the price, and I just turned around to her, having not spoken to her or met her before in my life, and just went, $150 for a cauliflower. And she just looked at me and just like sidled away in fear. I think she thought I was just going to like open fire on the supermarket.
Maybe she thought you were a mystery shopper, which I'd love to be, by the way. If you get, when you go in to check shop staff are doing the job.
Oh, you have to be, you're getting paid to be a grass.
Oh, I'd do that.
No.
I'd do that.
No, that goes against everything I believe in.
Maybe you could be like an interloper. You could do it the wrong way.
You little big bean grass.
Just going into like the shittest
Well,
shop.
actually, the tins weren't facing forward. Get a real job.
The cauliflower.
Mystery shoppers, get a real job.
£1.50.
I worked in a chain restaurant years ago when I was a student, and we had a mystery diner who used to come in, and they'd be like, we'd get like a little, the manager would come in and go, the mystery diner's about, so just be aware. And we'd just be like shitting ourselves, like, oh my God.
Is he wearing question marks all over his clothes?
We've had feedback from the mystery diner, and they said that you didn't put the plate down to the left.
Oh, like, come on.
That mystery diner can go and fuck off.
That mystery diner's a
knobhead. Get salmonella.
Yeah. I hope he gets a mystery illness. That's bollocks.
So what have you been up to anyway since last we spoke?
Well, yeah, because, the magic of showbiz, our viewers and listeners won't know that we've had a few weeks gap between
hiatus, if you will.
Recorded. Oh, and by the way, if anyone's listening, watching for the first time,
so we never do this. Welcome.
We're both comedians, and we fix the world every week, a small bit at a time,
step by step, bit by bit,
that's
stone by stone.
We get to have real success, but we're still trying, and the fun is in the working out, isn't it? The endeavour that we put into it.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly. And the journey's been fun so far, and I'm glad you're along with us for the ride. And if you're
welcome to our journey.
If you're only listening, you can get us on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
If you're only on YouTube, you can listen to us as well. But what have I been up to? Well, I've been drinking a lot recently. I've put on weight. I feel like shit. That's how I feel today.
Same.
I know this is a short-term thing. I know by tomorrow I'll feel fantastic again, but today I've had 4 nights on the ale, and I've been eating like hangover snacks. So I just feel a bit sluggish, and all day I just could not be arsed with anything. I'm happy now I'm out. I think this has been good for me to get in the car with you, drive here, to the studio.
So you've been like a sloth for 4 days.
Yeah.
But you put a trachea on to come to do Fix the World.
I've made
This
an
is
effort.
not exercise.
Yeah, I know. It's exercise for my
Like
brain, though, isn't it?
I don't know.
Do some squats.
Do some squats.
Maybe I am.
Do some one finger press ups. Whatever.
Maybe I'll
whatever,
karate chop this table right in two, and in your face that'll be. But I'm not going to do that.
Well, I think I'm cheating myself into doing when you drink, right? So you'll have loads to drink, and then, but I can't eat lots the next day. I just
Can't
feel
you?
like I get indigestion,
Oh
and
God,
I just
plow through stuff.
I can't. I'm not one of those people. But then I've got into the habit now where I just don't. And I'm thinking, well, at least I'm not putting on weight because I've drank loads, but I haven't eaten some. But it turns out that the calories you drink in alcohol just get stored in your body anyway, so you may as well eat.
You might as well eat as well.
You may as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb.
I've seen a few alcoholics who look really thin though, so you must be doing
all
something for them.
alcoholics are thin, but they all have little weird saggy asses.
You never see firm buttocks on it.
Never see firm buttocks on. You'll never see firm buttocks on an alcoholic.
No, and you can put that on a fridge magnet if you so desire,
or a t-shirt,
or a beer like jug.
Yeah.
I'm drinking because I don't want firm buttocks. I don't know how alcoholics do it because I suppose that's why they do it because the beer fear that you get is bad. So they probably just drink to get rid of it.
Beer fear.
Oh, that's...
Where you just wake up and reevaluate your entire existence from the date of your own birth.
Every choice you've ever made.
Oh, it's horrible.
Your current path in the world, you know, relationships, everything.
For two people who drink a lot, we don't have to talk a lot about the regret we have from drinking.
Well, it's fun, innit? That's the thing. People say like, oh, I gave up drinking for a year. In fact, I've spoke to a couple of people who gave up drinking for a year plus. One of them was the start of lockdown, the first lockdown, March 2020. They went, right, I'm not drinking. I'm just not going to drink. And it was purely to keep the head above water. You know, like I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to stay, you know, sober. And I said, oh, did it feel good? And he went, yeah, you feel good, you know, for about 3 weeks, and then it just becomes boring.
Yeah.
So
I must admit, when I don't drink, I do sleep better. If I don't drink for a long period of time, I do notice that.
What's the longest you've been though without drink?
Recently, probably about a week.
Because that's the same for me.
Yeah.
I think maybe I've done 10 days. When I had COVID, I did 10 days because I couldn't taste anything. I
know, we started dry January as well once, and I got to like 20 days in.
Oh, that's good.
I don't feel like I'm getting any benefit out of this, really.
Dry January should have a question mark at the end.
You know what I think? They should invent a new alcoholic drink. Because I've tried them all, and I'm sick of them.
Okay.
Sick to the back teeth of the same old alcoholic drinks. You know, the 90s was a heyday for new inventions.
Every week,
Every week there'd be a new alcoholic version of drink out.
This one tastes like Umbongo.
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah, I would.
And then they did away with the good ones like Castaway. If any 90s people remember Castaway.
It's great if you were struggling to have a shit.
It was like alcoholic lilt.
It just went right through it as well.
Yeah. And Mad Dog.
Yeah. Even the mixes like Cheeky Vimto.
Hooch is back.
Hooch is back.
Made a comeback.
Like it never went away.
Yeah.
What kind of new ale would you like to create?
Oh, I don't know. Something non-fizzy.
Okay.
Sometimes fizzy drinks are too much.
Yeah. How sugary?
No, not.
It can be too much.
I've not got a sweet tooth.
Okay. So like a savoury drink.
Oh God, like an alcoholic oxo.
Like Bovril.
Yeah.
With.
I must admit, I had a Bloody Mary once, and it was just like a cold cup of soup with vodka in it.
Oh, that sounds vile. But maybe Bovril with
alcohol in.
Yeah.
Well, no, I tried a kind of ale. Is that what we call it now? And it was Marmite flavoured ale.
That sounds disgusting.
It was rank.
I get a lot of
but we
gifts.
poured it into shot glasses.
Oh, why not? Why not? I get gifts a lot of the time from people who are like, well, I know Sam likes this and that, so let's buy him
I get
this.
gifts from people who like to re-gift.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, name badges with like Peter on them. I love bourbon and I love coffee. I got bourbon flavored coffee for Christmas, and I'm never going to drink that because those two things should not go together. I like my wife and I like my girlfriend, but I don't want to put them two things together.
Oh, you know? Speaking of other people's names and stuff, I might have told this story, but I'm going to tell it again because it's funny. So years ago, by where we lived, there was this smackhead called Brandt, which is an unusual name, Brandt.
For a smackhead.
And he was always in the pub selling stuff, like stuff he'd stole off people's lines or, you know, whatever. And he'd come in with like the most random things. And sometimes you thought he'd just gone into his mum's house and saw what he could come in. Does anyone want to buy a tin of beans? That kind of thing. So anyway, I went out with the lab Paul, and him and his brother Ian were just fascinated by Brant and his like what was going on, what made him. So one year at Christmas, you know, we used to go to Thornton's and you'd be able to get like the chocolate heart with a message on.
Oh yeah.
So we got on this chocolate heart, to Brant, love mum. And he'd give it to his brother for Christmas, as though he'd bought it off Brant in the pub.
That's amazing.
That's a funny one, isn't it?
That's proper, like, thought gone into that in a weird way. I've made this look like this is not for you.
What alcoholic drink would you invent?
I mean, I'm quite happy with the ones on offer at the moment, but I suppose something that would be, again, there's enough sweet things on the market. If this was a task on The Apprentice, create your own alcohol, you're going to have to find a gap in the market where no one is. Definitely there's no alcoholic bisto drinks.
Yeah. What are teenagers drinking these days?
You know, if you get a pot noodle and you kind of like sieve it out, just the juice you get at the bottom.
I drink that.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Put a bit of, I don't know.
Pot noodle jus.
Yeah. pot noodle jus. And then you add a little bit of, you imbibe it with some.
I think like maybe a brandy.
It'd be more like a liqueur, wouldn't it? Yeah. What are the flavours? I can't remember the flavours. I
like pineapple. I'm going to put that out there now.
Okay.
So a pineapple flavoured alcohol, I would be on board with.
Yeah. Make your wee
just
smell funny.
Bring back Castaway. Who do I write to for that?
I'd
also like to write to Cadbury to bring back Spiders.
They were good.
They were the best.
It'd be good if you had a time machine. You could only go back and get snacks that have been discontinued.
Yeah.
You'd feel cheated after a while because you think that you could do so much more with this machine, but all I can do is go and get Chewits.
I could stop world wars.
No, you
could stop the invention of the atom. Could do a lot of really important, powerful stuff. I could cancel the invention of plastic. Imagine the difference that would make to the world.
But all you can do is
all I want to do is go back in time.
Yeah.
Go back in time and get a spider.
Oh, Jesus.
We don't deserve technology, people like
us.
We
don't. We misuse it all the time. But anyway, what have you been up to? Because I know you've been...
Oh, lots.
Loads of stuff. Give me an update.
I've been on holiday.
So where did you go?
Went Tenerife.
Brilliant.
I went down Tenerife. Costa Rica.
Is that your first bit of sun since COVID?
Well, no, because I went to Corfu last year. No, we went to Costa Rica. We had beautiful weather. Beautiful. Did it again. Gorgeous weather.
Absolutely
we went on a whale watching trip.
That sounds
fabulous.
Amazing.
Is it the Atlantic? I didn't realise.
Is it?
It's the Atlantic. So they took us out for ages. The captain of the boat was beautiful. Very nice. He called himself John, but I know that he was just anglicizing. What's the word? Anyway, making his name sound
lion.
English. He was a beautiful man. And so on this boat trip,
did he have firm buttocks?
Well, I couldn't really see.
Oh, okay.
It didn't seem like there wasn't much seating. So we were out for 3 hours on this lovely boat called the Costa Mui, and there was me and Mick, and then there was like this couple who they looked like they were from like, I don't know, Scandinavia. You know, they look like they've got them fitness sandals on. Do you know what I mean? And proper like they go sailing as a job or something. And then there's a little family who were French, and you know when you see these families from like when you're on holiday and you see them and they're never from the UK, but there's always like this big, like hairy chested, he's got a big belly man, and he looks like he owns businesses and makes big decisions, and he has like a really good looking wife and a child that he's probably way too old to be a dad. Like he's in his like late 50s with a 5-year-old or something. So they were that family, but they were dead nice. And then there was just a load of like English people from like Barnsley or somewhere like that. So they were just like, as soon as we set off, the captain of the boat was like, right, you've paid your money. Have as many drinks as you want. But it was like 10 in the morning. Have as many drinks as you want. You've paid your money. It's there. Just tell me what you want. We'll go and get it.
So he
literally lifted the anchor up, and these people from like Barnsley were like, can we have 5 lagers, please? And we were just like, fucking hell.
So it's not just whale watching, it's get shit-faced and try and find a whale.
Possibly not. It's safe. But anyway, they took us out to this location. We saw some pilot whales. I clapped. I was the only one on the boat.
What are pilot whales?
They're like
They fly planes?
Yeah. the monocle. Anyway, we saw them. They were asleep on the surface because they sleep on the surface. There was this like marine biologist who goes out on the boat, and she was like trying to like give us like little facts, but we were like, "Oh, shut up, nerd!
Put the karaoke on, Sandra.
Shut up, nerd! Go and get us some San Miguel. Never mind nature." and then they took us to this like little bay, little private bay, which was the water was like glass, and we just thought, well, they said, "Yeah, you can go swimming if you want," and like nobody was going swimming, and I was like, "I want to go in the water." And then Mick was going, "Oh, I don't want to go in the water." And I was like, "Oh, come on, I don't want to go in on my own." So we went, all right. And so we just dived in the water and was like swimming about. And these people from Barnsley were going, "Oh, you're brave." And I went, "Oh, I'll have me central eating on next week. I may as well jump in the water while it's warming up."
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. It was very cheap there. Recommend the destination. A little cheapo holiday.
You know when people say stuff like, "You're brave," what they're really saying is, "I disagree with your decision," aren't they?
Yeah.
It's just like a polite way of saying you're a dickhead in my
it's
mind.
like when one woman goes to it, "Well, that's a brave choice, that outfit. It means you look like a terrible slag."
You're brave. I'm getting married. Oh, you're brave. Yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it?
So yeah, we went there, and then this weekend has been busy because I had a baby shower. I'm going to become a grandmother soon.
Which is amazing, isn't it?
Look at me.
Look, like far too young.
I'm cool as fuck.
It's going to be the coolest grandmother.
So we're getting a grandbaby in 6 weeks. So we had the baby shower on Saturday, which was fabulous. So fabulous, I cracked my tooth on a bottle.
Oh no!
On Saturday.
You can't really see it though.
It's very. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna get it sorted.
I cracked my tooth on a foosball table in the Crazy House in Liverpool in about 1999, and I've had it fixed a couple of times, but it keeps falling out, so I've just left it now. I remember my friend made me laugh so much. I was playing foosball like that, and my head just went down. I went, and just headbutted the table, and then my tooth.
Well, I'm not getting it bonded because that tooth actually is a veneer. That
Right.
one. So that'll just get taken off in a place. Yeah. It's all right. All good.
Sound of a good night though, innit?
Well, I was
Little
home by
injury.
8:30. I was a bit like, I think once I cracked my tooth, I was just like, oh, I'm fuming at myself now. And even though it was only a little tiny crack and no one could look at it, no one would see it unless they looked.
You can feel it though, can't you?
But I knew it had happened, and I was just like,
Yeah.
So I went home, and then Sunday I was at a christening. And we went to the church because I always think if you're invited to a christening, you should go to the church first.
Yeah.
I think it's good manners.
Show your
even though
face.
I'm an atheist.
Especially if it's a free bar.
It was a Catholic church, and the priest was really lovely. He explained everything.
Good.
He was like, "So this what I'm wearing here is blah, 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 and this ointment here, this oil is we put that on because it represents blah blah blah." So it was very educational. You know, normally you go and they just go, "Oh, blah blah blah," try
Yeah.
But he was lovely, and he explained things.
That sounds good because I don't know anything about these things. I've been to christenings. I'm not religious myself. I never went to a Catholic school. So when I go, I've heard these things before, but no one's ever explained to me what they are. And I went with a friend of mine and his girlfriend. His family was Catholic. She wasn't. And you know the bit where they go, what did they say? Peace be with you, is it?
Yeah.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you, and also with you, or God be with you. Peace be with you, and
I
they
think
shake hands.
This guy was saying peace be with you, this priest. And he was going around saying peace be with you. And it's one of them where if you're not, what's the word? I don't even know. Ordained. No, not ordained.
No, like
you're not christened yourself.
Christen's all confirmed.
Then you don't do it. But anyway, my mate's girlfriend, who's a bit thick, was stood there. And the priest comes up to her and goes, peace be with you. And she goes, nice to meet you too. And even the priest was pissing himself because it was just ridiculous.
But I told you this story, when we were kids, we were like I was a bit like interesting in Catholicism because a lot of my friends went to Catholic school. So I used to just sneak into mass and take communion.
Right.
And then when I come out, we played communion. We cut circles of bread with the egg cup and give each other communion.
And use Pringles nowadays, can't you?
Yeah.
What does that bread taste like? The communion bread?
It's like a rice cake. No, it's like, you know, in a coconut macaroon, it's got that rice paper on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like that paper.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe I will go then. If they changed the taste of that and made it a bit more tasty, they might get more people going. You know, if they gave out meatballs instead. Or
that wine cup knocks me sick, though. They can't do that now in COVID, can they?
No, they have to just get a super squirter and just like...
A syringe.
Just a little syringe, fire it into your face. It's like Freshers Week.
Yeah.
But like different foods, to give out bit of crackers, bit of cheese, bit of Branston pickle at the end. You know, after choir boy's been naughty, he's got to give out the pickled eggs or whatever.
We used to go to church on Mother's Day to get the daffodils for our mums and that.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I bet that was good.
But no, I'm not a thing about. I don't get religion.
Yeah, I wish sometimes that I believed in something because I do feel like it would make my life easier. Like I support.
So you could blame God on Everton on God.
I could blame Everton. I could blame Everton and everything on God. but like Everton, like is something that I kind of spend a lot of my time following, and it just makes me unhappy. So if religion was there instead, and it gave me a sense of like, oh, that's why that's happening, instead of, fuck's sake, sack the board.
My brother's an Everton fan, and he had a season ticket until a few years ago, and he said at this point now, if they get beat, he just laughs at it.
Oh, it's just
because he's like, I don't really know what else to do now.
It's the worst. It's like anything. It's like when you become apathetic, that's when it's over, really, because then you're not angry anymore. It's the same thing with like.
If anyone doesn't know what Everton is, I don't know if you're tuning in from wherever, but
we've got a lot of listeners in Chile.
Yeah, they're a team not doing very well, and Sam supports them.
Yeah, and they just give me misery. But then they'll give you just enough hope one week to make you go, oh no, it's going to be different this time.
I've said this a long time ago. Could you imagine, like, all right, I'm lucky because I support Liverpool and we achieve things, but I always wonder what it would be like to be that roller coaster. A fan of it, like a roller coaster team, like I don't know, like Norwich or one of those teams that get relegated but get promoted but get relegated, and then they might just like beat a really brilliant team, and you'd feel those highs and lows so much more deeply.
Definitely,
because you've got that like
Everton,
I don't know.
Everton don't even have that. They're like not even a roller coaster. They're like the ghost train that no one wants to go on and it's all flat. There's no like ups and downs. I mean, there's a little bit of a potential down at the moment. The river caves, it's the river caves, and anyone can go on. There's no age limit. The water features broke. There's no queue. But I don't know if that's the way to live your life. Because what kind of a life would you want to live if you had a choice to start your life again, and someone said to you, you can either live a very placid, peaceful,
easy
but ultimately dull life, or you can take the blue pill and you can have the highest highs and the lowest lows.
I don't know. I'm lazy now, so I'd take the easy route.
Well, in our 40s, you probably do take the easy route, but okay, if you were 18, would you have picked the ups and downs?
Yeah, I would have. Would you?
Do you know what I'd be like? I'd be like, can I barter with you here? Can I have a little bit of this and a little bit of the other? Can I have the weekends?
No, but you can't barter this.
But I'd try. I'd say I'd tell you what. I'd say to the guy, whoever this random person was offering me these choices.
Yeah, in the clinic they go, no, get this joker out.
Get him out.
He can't make a decision to save his life.
I'd say, can I have? All right, not even the full week. Tuesday to Thursday, I want a placid life. But Friday to Monday, give me fucking fireworks.
Give me mayhem.
Give me chaos.
Give me jail time.
And depression. Jail time. And then at the end of it, I'll write a kick-ass autobiography and I'll cut the clinic in.
Yeah.
To this,
But at that point, you'll be such a frazzled little shriveled wreck from your roller coaster life that you won't be able to enjoy the royalties because one more glass of champagne will kill you.
Yeah, which is hard.
And that's the price you paid for taking that pill to have the excess of life.
That is Sophie's Choice, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Lucky old Sophie.
Sophie. Poor Sophie.
What was Sophie's Choice? What was it about?
Now you've got me. I've quoted Sophie's. It's like Sophie's Choice, isn't it? And you said, what was Sophie's Choice? And I'm like, I haven't got it.
What does it represent? Where there's both options are shite or both options are the best?
I think it's when they're both shite.
Yeah.
I think. And then she has to choose one. So inevitably.
The least shite option.
The least shite option.
If we're wrong about that, any Sophie's Choice fans, please correct us.
Please get in touch. But I do feel like I've read loads of autobiographies where you get like some like Hellraiser and they've got like about all these like mad moments in their life, and then you start reading it and they're talking about the school. You're thinking, all right, well let's just cut to the bit where it gets fun.
Yeah.
And then oh god, they're doing loads about the parents. Sometimes they talk about the parents' lives, and you're like, you haven't even been born yet. And on page 32, and then you get to the Hellraiser bit, and then you get to the bit where they get clean, and it gets boring again.
I follow this thing on because obviously none of us have got an attention span anymore, so I haven't actually read the book of it. But it's on Twitter. There's a Twitter feed, and it's Richard Burton's diary.
Oh,
Is it Richard Burton, the Welsh guy?
the married Liz Taylor, yeah.
He married Liz Taylor twice, and it's just every day they post an excerpt of his diary. I haven't seen it on me. I don't know. Me algorithms have all gone to shit. I don't know why, but it used to just.
Me algorithms are playing up.
Me algorithms. But he was a hellraiser. He was a heavy drinker. He lived life to that absolute fullest. And then it'd just be like, Monday, 26th of January, 1955. Elizabeth looked radiant. I had a whiskey bed. And that'd be it. And it'd just be like, here's you lying there watching them on the Airport 77 going, oh my God, I bet their life was just magnificent.
Yeah.
They know. He bought the world's most expensive diamond for her.
Did he?
And then he'll go, February the 12th. Elizabeth had too much to drink and carried on. And I'm like, God, that's me of a weekend. Why haven't I got the world's most expensive diamonds?
Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah.
Friday.
So they're the same ups and downs as the rest of us, but just more money.
Didn't document them. Wednesday, went to Argos, bought a different ring.
Yeah.
Took the other one back.
Mixed B, Tuesday, choked on a crisp. Had half a slice of bread. He actually did this. Mick thinks, right, this might be
in his diary.
You might have heard this, right? So I'm going off subject now, but this is fucking weird. One day I went in the kitchen and I went to make the butties for the next day, and I looked in the bread bag and there was just half a slice of bread on top of all the other bread, but it hadn't been cut, it'd been ripped, half a slice of bread. So Mick and Sam are in the living room and I just went in and I went, right, am I losing my mind? Can anybody explain to me why I've just went to get bread out and there's just a piece of bread that had been torn in half and half of it was in the bread? And Mick went, oh no, that was me. I was choking the other day.
What?
So me and Sam just looked at each other and I went, what? And he went, I was choking the other day. And I was like, yeah. And he went, so I had half a slice of bread.
What?
I was like, what the fuck kind of logic is that? And Sam went, especially when you're in the kitchen and there's a tap that water comes out of right next to you. But instead of having a glass of water dead quick, he had a slice of bread and he went, no, it stops you from choking. So when you're choking on a dry thing, so what you do is eat another dry thing to stop you from choking. And he's like, it works. And I was like,
it works. Not it worked. It works. Everyone's doing it.
I've watched Casualty. I've never seen Charlie Fairhead give everybody half a slice of bread when they were choking to death.
Get me the scalpel and the Warburtons. Jesus Christ. Because it is dead dry without butter on.
But then I've mentioned it to people and they've gone, oh yeah, you eat dry bread if you're choking.
Can someone Google this out in Google land? Check for us. That's absolutely preposterous.
It's nonsense.
Oh my God, dry bread's horrible. Have you ever done that thing with the crackers where you tried to eat 3 dry crackers in a minute?
Yeah.
And the first time someone told me that, I went, 3 dry crackers in a minute and you'll give me a tenner.
Nymphs.
Pimps. Piece of piss. They went, no, you've got to have them dry. And then, 45 seconds in, I'm still halfway through the first slice and I'm laughing now. But that feels like you're choking on just the sheer dryness of it because your whole mouth gets dried.
It's weird you should mention that because yesterday at the christening, I was with a lot of girls who were worked within my 20s and 30s and we haven't seen each other for a really long time. So it was great with catching up. And one of them went, I remember when you come to work in our place and you just would come in one day and give us all a cracker and went, right, I'm going to start the clock. Whoever eats the cracker first, follows the cracker first wins. And she went, and you won. And I was like, I've got absolutely no recollection of that.
What did you win?
That must have been...
Another cracker.
I must have been on some kind of heavy medication. Who comes into a job and goes, let's all eat a cracker the fastest?
Hi, my name's Kate. Nice to meet you all. These are called Jacobs. Who wants to be my friend?
Crackers are a recurring theme in my life.
Crackers cake. The crackers... Yeah, I've tried that a couple of times at parties, when I was dead young, when I was 19 and someone's mum and dad had gone away. Someone would roll a joint and go, fetch me the crackers. I'm going to try the cracker thing. No one ever did it whatsoever. So I'd love to see video footage of Mick choking and saving himself with half a slice of bread because that would be
the
amazing.
Man he's a myth. He's a paradox.
He's still
with us.
Still walking.
Still doing it. You know what else to do though? This is type, but sometimes if I make his butties or if he's made his butties, if I go in the fridge and see the butties look particularly nice in the wrapper, I unwrap them and take a big bite out of one of them and then wrap them back up and put them back in the fridge.
Oh, that's spite.
And I turn them around so we can't see where the bite mark is. Because of a money, he'll just go and grab the butties, put them or whatever. And then he'll text me in the day and go, you're a fucking ass.
Don't know what you mean. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, but your butties look so tasty.
Yeah. You haven't drunk that drunk,
I
have
didn't
you?
want a full butty, I just wanted to bite one.
It had to be yours.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was choking.
That's the kind of selfish bitch I am, guys.
You know, if I worked in a kitchen or like any kind of restaurant job, I would just be eating food. I can't prepare food without shoving a load of it in my face. Like, you know, bits fell on the floor.
Yeah. When I worked in a restaurant years ago, we had a chef who's partially sighted, and when he wanted to check whether the steak was done, he used to just go like that with his I've told the story, haven't I?
Oh, no.
Just go like that with his finger in it.
Finger the steak?
Go, yeah, it's well done that.
Oh, God.
See properly?
I worked with a chef who had one eye once.
Did
Same
you?
guy. Was he Chinese?
No.
Oh, mine was
No,
Chinese.
the chef had both eyes. He just couldn't see football.
Oh, this guy had lost an eye. He was the chef in the canteen in a job I had about 20 years ago. And myth had it that he'd lost his eye because he had a verruca. And he also had an eye problem, and he had some eye drops and verruca cream.
He scratched his eye with his toenail.
And he got... No. No, we got the ointments mixed up.
Very bendy fella.
That's why he became a chef, because he liked the taste of his own meat.
And that's how he lost his eye.
He put the whether it was a wart or a verruca, but he put that ointment in his eye. And I used to think, well, surely getting the right thing in the right place is important for a chef. But anyway, his food was horrible. Like, he used to do these chips. How can you fuck up chips? But his chips were horrible.
Because he couldn't see if probably if they were brown or not.
He probably couldn't see a thing.
Do you know what you know Gabrielle, the singer, who has, well, I don't know if she has one eye, but she wears an eye patch.
Yeah.
So I told my friends Crystal and Ruth years and years ago, she come on, and Ruth was one of these people, she'd have a drink and sing at you. So we'd just be sat there having a drink, and then she'd just out of nowhere just start going, dancing in the moonlight, mid-conversation. So she did this, and it was Out of Reach by Gabrielle, and she just started going, out of reach, mid-conversation. She always did it. So I was like, oh, it's dead sad what happened to her, isn't it? And they both went, oh, and I went, Gabrielle. And they went, what? And I went, well, you know why she wears that eye patch, don't you? And they went, no, what? And I went, oh, it was like a showbiz injury. And they went,
a showbiz injury?
They were like, what happened? I went, I know when she first started out in her career, she went like that to grab the mic off the stand, and she just popped herself in the eyeball.
Fuck.
And that's why she got away. And they were both going, oh my God. Oh, that's dead sad. Isn't that shocking?
Dreams. Ah!
So that was the myth I propagated about Gabrielle's eye. And then one time, when I first moved into my house, we went to my chippy on the way in from town. Crystal being from Wallasey, they have different customs over the water from Liverpool.
Very different.
So she came, and Crystal is like tiny but eats like a teenage boy. I've never seen anything like it. So we went in the chippy at like 1:30 in the morning, and I have like, I don't know, spring rolls or chips and gravy or whatever. Crystal just goes up and goes, chicken dinner, please. And I was just like,
chicken dinner.
This is what she was like, right? So I went to Ruthie, I'll watch this. So the woman's serving it, and I went to Crystal, because when you go to the bar in Liverpool, you'll go take your own, and the bar staff will take like 20, 30p or 50p or whatever and put it in the tips glass. So I went to Crystal, don't forget, on this side, when you go to the chippies, they take your own. And she went, what? I went, yeah. And she went, do they take a tip? I went, no, it's like saying thanks. It's just like a tradition. It's not, doesn't mean anything, but everyone always says it, especially in chippies over here, they say it all the time. It's just like saying thank you. It's like, nah, you're shitting me. I was like, and Ruth was like, no, Crystal, make sure you say it, because
don't be rude.
It's like, yeah. So the woman like gave her the chicken dinner, and it was like, oh, £3.60, whatever. And Crystal gave her the money and just went dead hesitantly and went, take your own. Take your own. And the woman just looked at her like, what, babe? It's really funny.
I didn't know you could get chicken dinners. Did you get a chicken dinner?
It's like chicken, chips, peas and gravy.
Like sort of fried chicken.
I could absolutely bury that right now, could you?
Oh, every day.
I experimented. Oh, that's what else when we haven't seen each other for a few weeks. I experimented with vegetarianism.
Oh, and how did that go?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I could cope.
Yeah, I've never really wanted to do that. I don't think I ever will do that.
I don't mind being a vegetarian.
Like, are you still veggie now?
No, but I would say I'm probably 90%
Yeah.
veggie. Okay. I eat more. I haven't give up fish. Come on now.
No.
Because I like eating plastics out of the oceans.
Oh, they taste good. With a little bit of breadcrumb on.
Yeah, a little bit of cod and batter with a Scrabble tile in it.
A little bit of Bisto jus.
But yeah, I didn't find it difficult at all.
No.
No.
And are you still doing it? Are you going to do it long term?
I'm trying to eat less meat.
I try and eat less processed meat. But processed meat's great.
But chopped pork's lovely, isn't it?
And that gala pie with the egg in the middle.
Oh my God.
The chickens that shit them out must be fucking crazy.
This big massive oval egg.
Yeah.
Big long eggs.
Yeah. Oh! Never mind clucking, it'd be yodeling, wouldn't it?
Some fellas, that's like the meat ready.
He's got the pastry. He's got to bring the pastry. It's like it's like when they give birth. It's like when they have like all the midwives come round. It's like,
do we all know what gala pies are, viewers, listeners?
Gala pies. Google them.
It's an oblong pork pie with an egg throughout the middle of the meat.
Google
Never
it.
seen
Google
the
image
likes. I would imagine when that was first invented, people were like, "What the fuck?"
That must have been like when the iPhone came out.
Yeah.
People couldn't believe it existed.
1 minute you've got a pork pie, next minute you've got a gala pie. It's like getting an iPhone 13.
I think the word gala pie doesn't do it justice. It should be called festival pie or carnival pie.
Like a celebration pork pie.
Because when you see it, you want to celebrate.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of them in a long time. Google it, everyone. And after you've thrown up, come back to the podcast. Because you used to get them a proper like 1980s buffets, wasn't it?
Buffets,
that's
a
what I
gala
associate
pie.
it with.
Yeah. And half a cabbage with cocktail sticks sticking out of it with cocktail sausages and cheese.
Yeah.
I love a buffet. Do you?
An old school one, yeah.
Old school, but the buffet at the christening was good. They did curry and rice and all that.
Oh, I like all
I never have hot stuff on a buffet.
Well, I've got a thing for pork pies, and I just, I try not to eat them all the time because they're not really great for you, are they?
But they're so gorgeous.
Oh, they're so great. The little
I think
snack
if there's one
ones.
thing the viewers and listeners of Fix the World will have picked up on is that me and Sam eat some shite.
Oh, you like to have car concerts.
Yeah.
I like to have car picnics.
Yeah. Car buffet.
And the passenger seat of my car, when there's no one in it, obviously, is just filled with delights of, like, I like to get a big grab bag of crisps, these two pork pies together. If you could buy gala pie in like travel packs, that would make my world complete.
Little tiny egg in it.
A little.
Do you like Scotch eggs?
Oh yeah, I love them.
Do you?
Yeah, I like anything with eggs.
Any
in.
handheld snack?
Pickled eggs.
Yeah.
Do you like pickled eggs?
Oh no!
They
What?
fucking
I've never
stink.
tasted one.
Me friends.
Who pickles an egg? Kind of weirdo.
Animal. Me friends.
Like, you know what would make a spoiled egg better if we left it in a jar of vinegar for 12 years?
Someone must have done it by accident once and gone, this is lovely, this. But then it does split the opinion. My friend's nan used to love me when, not in a romantic sense, I was a very polite young man.
Did she pickle your eggs for you?
She pickled my eggs, baby. More than 12 years. She used to make pickled eggs for me, so she did pickle my eggs.
Wow.
If you really want the answer.
And they say romance is dead.
Romance is very much pickled. She lived in Canterbury, so my friend used to go back like twice a year and bring back a big jar of pickled eggs for me, from her nan. There was like 12 eggs in it. And 1 year, she had this jar of pickled eggs in a boot. And
Here you are, dear. Here's a jar of pickled eggs for your friend Sam.
tell him to send his underpants
Very
up.
special vinegar, that. Yuck.
Lovely young fellow.
These pickled eggs smell like old lady piss.
You got any more photos for me, Sam?
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Shower's your winkle, dear.
I've left the lid slightly. Anyway, 1 year, whether she did this on purpose, I don't think it was on purpose. She left the lid slightly ajar.
Went off.
So it went off and it rolled around my mate's boot for like 4.5 hours on the M6,
Ugh.
M1, whatever,
Oh my
M25.
God.
So a car stank of pickled eggs, which I quite enjoyed the smell of, but she was not so keen.
I think that's a good point to finish this episode.
I think it is, isn't it?
You can never go wrong with the word stank. I love it. It's one of my faves.
It's like the word shat.
Shat and stank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something quite satisfying. Maybe it's because it's in the past tense, so it means you did stink, but you don't anymore. You needed a poo, but you don't anymore.
Stank's one of the funniest words ever written.
Stank. I've just shat and it stank.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week, folks.
Yeah, bye. Keep tuning in, keep listening, keep sharing for more really exotic stories.